a Yorkshireman, was stuck here for 50 odd years, down under in Australia, freezing to death. It's cold down here because of climate change. It's getting colder. Never mind, I think, anyway, beside the point. I want to talk about a thing they say, racism. What is it? Now it's a very dicey problem because it's not actually racism, is it? Most of it is called a clash of cultures. And people, no matter what the races are, if they're sort of a simple mental culture, like they're all doctors or something like that, PhDs in physics, no matter what race they are, then they'll all get on. There'll be a facial expression that gives away their sort of general coincidental intelligence, and they'll be able to recognise each other immediately, and they'll get on almost automatically. So, although they say racism exists, it's more like, usually it's a fear of more aggressive people, and it's a biological factor. And then, if you're in a country and you say, well, we are my lot, which is different, and a minority is going to take over your country, then the other people say, well, we don't want that, they don't fancy it. Who's being racist? You're actually provoking what then can be called a racist response. So we're racist because we don't want you taking over our country. No, that's normal. It's organic and biological not to want someone to take over your country. And it's provocative and aggressive to say we're taking over your country. Whatever your race you are, it doesn't matter. If you say we're going to take over your country, it's aggressive, and you're going to bound to, like the British went into India and they sort of tried to colonise that and did all that. They did some horrible things there, and that was blatantly racist. That's for certain. But at the same time, the Indians are proud people, and I really respect the Indians. And I respected them while they stood up to the English, and I'm English. I respect them for certainly. I respect them for that. I take my hat off to the Indians for kicking the English out. But you see, they eventually they took it as an aggressive stand against the being Indian, right? So if other races and other cultures or whatever are behind using a religion as a pretext to say we're going to take over your country or the way of life, right, and using a religion as a pretext, then you expect, if you have that bullying attitude, then you expect a sort of an aggressive reply. And that's biological. It's not racism. It's not because you have a race. It doesn't matter where you are, what type of human you are. What does it matter? If you're aggressive towards others, then you're going to provoke a counter-aggressive response. And that's, that's part of it, this thing called racism, or what's happening in the world about that. One, it's not knowing someone. If someone comes across as aggressive, no matter what race they are, they come across aggressive and scary, that's going to cause a sort of reaction from other people. And then that reaction then might be taken as, oh, you're being racist. Well, no, actually, they might be intimidated by certain behaviours of others. And it can work both ways. Some people are intimidated by certain behaviours of one tribe, and other tribes are intimidated by the behaviours of another tribe. And it turns out sort of clash of tribal clashes, right? Because they've got different emotional cultures. The cultures are psychological and emotional factors. It's not, your art and your customs of eating. Their customs, the culture, the organic culture itself causes an intrinsic response which is biological. And because it's biological, it's natural, and so to overcome it, you've got to try. I've got to try and understand why the person's doing it. I try to understand why are people wanting to take certain people from some countries want to take and threatening to take other countries over. Well, I don't know quite. It's to provoke an aggressive response back. It's like picking a fight, and then when the person responds, they say, "Oh, you're being racist against," or the term, they use a term called Islamophobic as well. And now, I don't know why you can't be Islamophobic when there are a lot of Muslims who live in fear of other Muslims because of the difference in their religious take on the Shia and Shiite religions are different. And so the more Muslims in the world are Islamophobic about the different sect of Islam than white people are generally about Islam. And it's so therefore, when people say Islamophobic, I don't see what's wrong with having a phobia about something you don't understand or you naturally fear because of biological reasons and cultural reasons. That's nothing to do with how you may deal with the individuals amongst any tribe. The individuals are cross-section of all societies. Doesn't matter what they are, so really decent people, middle people, and some right arseholes of people. And the aggressive factors amongst them. And, so maybe we should get all the aggressive factors from all the different cultures, and all, it wouldn't matter where they're from, all the aggressive ones, all the machos and aggressive, all the arseholes and all the want to fight everyone, let's have a war, let's have a fight, let's get them all together. There's a big area like the Sahara Desert, say, ship around all there, all you aggressive people like fighting and want war. We're going to get a deal with it, put it on TV, we'll see you annihilate a lot of you. Black, white, green, yellow, whatever, Islamic, Christian, whatever, go somewhere, and poof. And that's what you kill yourself over in sort of killing field, and you'll all be gone then. We can get rid of a lot of you who like to kind of, we all have a war, we're going to have a war. We don't, lots of 90% of the people will want peace. The only few people want war because of money in it, or sort of ego of power, or whatever it is. It's what's ever going on in their heads. It's a primitive people. It shows you how primitive humans are when they're still making nuclear weapons and big war machines and all stuff like that, because a very small amount of humans, mainly men, are extremely aggressive towards each other. We're protecting national interest, are you? By spending billions of dollars on weaponry, you're protecting, maybe you send the country broke and keeping everyone in fear. I mean, I know it works with power, it keeps people in power, but it's just sort of weakening the system in the end anyway. But this thing about racism, whatever it is, it's actually, most of it's impoliteness. I see it mostly as uncultivated people, no matter what side of the spectrum they're on. If they're not being brought up to be chivalrous as gentlemen, and ladies as women, then chances are when they intermingle with others, even amongst themselves, even if they mingle amongst themselves, it'll be aggressive and rude. And those people aggressive and rude amongst themselves will probably be aggressive and rude more so with others of other cultures, you see. Yeah, so this is a problem. The people who are aggressive and rude amongst themselves, like in Australia's aggressive and rude amongst themselves, they're so quite aggressive, and Americans as well as some English people as well. But yeah, Australians can be very, very aggressive and rude amongst themselves, and so can Americans. They talk very aggressive and rude. So therefore, they might talk aggressive and rude towards others, and there are people within the Islamic world who talk very aggressive and about towards amongst each other. And then when they interact with people who are non-Islamic, maybe they're aggressive towards them. So actually, it's nothing to do with Islam or white or whatever. It's to do with the lack of cultivation of chivalry and that within the men themselves, and bringing women up to be generally more ladylike, if you like, maybe sound a bit old-fashioned and frumpy, but it's not actually. It makes for a peaceful world if everyone's nice and polite and go and talk to each other on congenial terms. No, what the hell you like or where you're from, that doesn't matter. It's a secondary factor. If you're a decent person, it'll come across straight away. People are generally shy, you might be taken wrongly, and people are feared because of their colour. But if they got that, then they have to smile a bit. Smile, be pleasant and all that. Don't be aggressive. Don't become some big muscly guy tattooed all over. You're going to scare the shit out of people. If they're scared, they say, well, you're scared of me. Well, you're being racist. No, actually, it's lots of it to do with biology. People can't help being what they are. But people can't help being sort of aggressive, and if they're aggressive and provoking trouble, then they're saying, "Oh, you're being racist because you're reacting to it," when you can see it's provocative. So a lot of this stuff, this political correctness is saying you can't react. Tory Robinson's reacting to what's happened in England. He's an Englishman in England, and he's reacting to people saying we're going to take your country over, Islamophobia, make a caliphate and all over the world. Well, that naturally causes a reaction, and that's a planned thing by someone, not necessarily Muslims. I'm not blaming Muslims for being Muslims. I'm not blaming them for being Muslims or anything. I'm blaming the political systems behind all of this for stirring up troubles amongst people without allowing a proper sort of academic and rational explanation about it all. To explain things and understand things and find out who the real trouble causers are amongst either side and let them sort it out. Let's sort out that instead of blaming the whole of society and blame some people just for speaking up and saying you're being politically incorrect. Well, they just have an opinion. And maybe the opinion they're not able to articulate in a way that then allows them to sort of say it in a rational and polite and civilized manner. And maybe that's half the problem is. Anyway, my name's Graham, and I'm just trying to put some old-fashioned Yorkshire logic onto this thing called political correctness, and things like Islamophobia and all that. Am I Islamophobic? Well, yes. Yes, I am. I'm frightened. When the Islams are sort of, we're going to say, we're going to Islamophize all the world and make a caliphate, well, that gives me a phobia about it. I don't want that. I don't want people saying to take away my freedom of choice, or what I am and what I believe in. Do I have to believe in anything? No, I don't. Where's God? I don't know. Where is it? Is it in my heart? Where's God? Is it in your heart? Where is it? And all that. I don't want to be told what to think or what to believe or what I should say by anyone. It's as simple as that. Because that's the root cause of all oppressions and all wars and all aggressive reactions, even within the Islamic community. The cause of aggressive reactions amongst them and amongst any, especially Americans and Australians also, they oppress each other by this rather crude way, and that causes them to be aggressive. When they get drunk or whatever, they get aggressive easily, and it's like they feel aggressive because maybe they're oppressed amongst themselves a bit. They're not allowed to intellectualize freely, some of them, because some of the brilliant intellectuals and philosophers amongst them Islam, that I totally respect. But those who are not as educated, who can't, like every culture, maybe want to prove themselves physically and outwardly, aggressively to prove a point about themselves. You can use the religion or the Aussie culture or the American culture or the British culture to sort of bolster the fact and look how aggressive we can be, because our history is based on all the victories we've had in the battlefield. It all reflects back to that. It's all rather primitive when it all gets down to that. And it's about time we all moved on a bit. Anyway, just a little bit of insight. One man's feelings about political correctness. I think it's one of those discussions that many people are afraid to confront, and it needs to be confronted.